Welcome back to our Hatters Walk. We're reviewing the good, the bad, and the ridiculous of Luton Town's social media following that defeat to Burnley. We've got our full panel back with us to do it with as well. Thank you very much for joining us. We're starting with Neil says, we've lost our identity. There's no fight or passion shown. We just seem to turn up and go through the motions week after week. The sooner this season is over, the better. So our topic this week is, have Luton lost their identity? And we're seeing a lot more Gary Sweet criticism. Is that fair? We'll get our panel's view on that in a second. We're looking at wages this week as well. And who'd we like to come up from League One? Lots to get through, and delighted to have our full panel back with us in Lewis, Dan, Kevin, and Mark. Many of you went to Burnley. Mark, will ask you about how your walk went in a second. But joking aside, we didn't expect much from Burnley, Lewis, did we? But did we expect a bit more fight from the players?
Well, the game plan went after Cal Naismith got sent off. So it's kind of like, what can you do with 10 men? You're not going to get a point with against 10 men. It's already tough with 11 players. These group of players, unfortunately, when we go down to 10, I think that belief just goes instantly. If this was like Nathan Jones's side, if we ever went down to 10 men under him, you still believe you could get something, but not with these group of players. I don't think you can. But yeah, the game plan was done after 20 minutes, unfortunately.
We can't change the result now, Lewis, but even our Burnley fans said, Dan, that you guys have got a lot of right to complain about some of the refereeing decisions within that game. This one here, Fargo says, it wasn't the players' fault. The referee was against us. It was never a red card. The second goal was blocked. The third goal was out of play. The fourth goal, Burnley took the free kick from wherever he wanted. There's not a lot you can do when you have refs like that, and there's so many other fans saying the ref was a homer. Just ridiculous. Do you agree?
Yeah, to a point. Yeah, I think he got a few things wrong. We should have had a penalty as well. Makosso got kicked in the head in the second half, but we all saw that and knew straight away we'd get it because he didn't really give us a lot throughout the game anyway. I think the telling point was Naismith's 2 bookings. I think the first one, for me, I think he still gets a bit on the ball. Yes, his boot's high, but he still gets enough on the ball for me. And the second one, obviously, you've been booked. You don't need to make silly challenges like that far up the pitch. But he gets enough of the ball on it. It's again, so... But like Lewis said, from then on, we were stuffed. We were just absolutely knackered after that. And Burnley didn't really have to do too much. We can blame the referee all we want, but Burnley didn't really have to get out of second gear to win the game. It was quite easy. But they were helped with pretty much all the goals. We scored one for them, so...
we're recording this before the Cardiff game, which obviously is absolutely huge. Mark, you're not walking to Cardiff, are you? Please tell me that.
No, I'm not walking to Cardiff. I'd have to have set off Saturday night, but no, I'm not walking to Cardiff. But yeah, I agree with what the guys are saying. I mean, the ref had a shocker, and I think some of the substitutions we made was purely because how poor the ref was. We had to take Liam Walsh off because he'd already been booked, and nothing against Liam Walsh. And bear in mind, he's already been sent off twice. But I think the referee was just so inconsistent and making so many poor decisions. You couldn't legislate for someone that's been on a yellow card. The first one definitely wasn't a yellow, and like I said, once you've been booked, then you need to be a bit more careful. But I just think the way Burnley play and the way that the confidence they've got, I think when we went down to 10, I think the game plan started really well for 10 minutes. I know it's only 10 minutes, but I think the game plan was there to... They didn't really have any chances before we went down to 10 men, but that just ruined the game, basically, and it was damage limitation from then.
Yeah, I mean, I pulled out a bit of negativity this week, but Kevin, I didn't see loads actually on social media this week. There is still a belief, I think, that, look, it was Burnley, nothing was going to happen, the referee was dodgy anyway, and actually it was all about, on Tuesday night, it was all about, we can't lose this. But can I ask you, is a draw okay against Cardiff or not?
They often say that it's a must-win game. I don't think it's more truer than tomorrow's game. I mean, there's a great chance we'll catch Cardiff. If we do win, we are only going to be, 2 points behind them. Then anything can happen. if they go and they win this game, I think they're also out of sight. If Stoke also win on Wednesday night, I think that's our season. So it is a must win. Must win is used too often, but I can't see anything more than what must win tomorrow. And we can do it. We can turn this around. I think the first 20 minutes was good against Burnley. We weren't in too much of a trouble. And beating Portsmouth the week before wasn't easy. We saw Portsmouth go and beat Leeds over the weekend. So we were in a bit of form. But like Rob Edwards said, the gods of football are against us this season. If there's something that can go wrong, it will go wrong. But I'm still passionate. I'm still believe that those 50-50 calls will turn. And in the last 10 games that they'll go our way. They have to go our way.
Lewis, are you back believing again?
Oh no, I've accept until we prove we can win away from home. Then I'll believe. And you've got to give me the evidence, like the evidence. Yeah.
Lewis is going to be a believer tomorrow. Watch. Lewis is going to change it tomorrow. He's going to be a believer.
Well, Mark can tell you, but when the first minute goes at any Luton match, he knows whatever I think before a match, it goes out the window, and I just go through the emotions during the 90 minutes.
Yeah. The Middlesbrough podcast we did earlier was very, very depressive. They are in a right rut. They want Carrick out. The players aren't scoring. They can't defend. And they come to your place, of course, on Saturday, fearing Isaiah Jones is gonna score. So it's a decent week. You beat Cardiff, and then you're playing an out of sorts Borough side, Dan. What's to worry about?
When you pull it like that, nothing. It's just easy, right? We just show up, don't we?
Yeah.
No, I mean, Borough is still a good side. Cardiff have picked up a bit of form recently, although they've lost the last couple, I think. Give Burnley a run for the money midweek last week. But they've got Ethan Horvath in goal, so we've got a chance of getting a goal.
Okay.
He always used to throw the ball in the net for the other team when he played for us.
Last week, Mark, we put the kiss of death on Cal Naismith because we put him in Masoko and on almost like godlike terms last week. Is he forgiven?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone makes a mistake. Like we said, the first one wasn't a yellow, but then he shouldn't have made the challenge for the second when you're on a yellow so early in the game. He's come out on Instagram and said he let everyone down. I think the double-edged sword is the fact that it's Cardiff next, and a lot of fans were saying, should we save players for Tuesday? But it's you use up so much energy when you're chasing around like with 10 men. So, I mean, they've used more energy like for 70 minutes with 10 men than they would if it was just 11. I don't believe we'd have lost 4-0 with 11 players, but I hear that Reece Burke's in the squad and he's travelling to Cardiff, which is good news. It's a massive loss, but Matt's positive and they'll go in good spirits. I spoke to a few players before the game, and they're all positive. I spoke to Matt as well, so they're all fired up. They know how big it is. They don't need to dress it up anymore. Whether it's a must win or it's definitely a must not lose. That's not in any doubt. Whether it's must win, but the win, we just need to get this monkey off our back with this away run. I mean, I can't remember how many it is now. I think I've seen virtually all of them, and they missed one in case I missed the one we win.
One name coming up, Kevin, though, throughout lots of social media tweets was the name of Sweet. And I think once you have a result like Burnley, people look to place their anger somewhere, and they can't place it on the manager. They can't really place it on the players anymore. So it is Gary that's getting it. Adam says accountability and acknowledgement by Gary Sweet in the last home game, but it still seems like it wasn't enough. We didn't even get a sorry either. Maybe a sorry we really effed up in front of a full Kenny might be enough to give him one more transfer window to redeem himself. What are your thoughts on people that want to just have a go at Gary Sweet?
Well, look, for 10 years he was the messiah of Luton Town, and he pulled them from the doldrums. We don't have to talk about the history again, but he saved us. He saved this team, a team that we all love. Did an incredible job, got them to the Premier League. Did a great job there. This year, dropped the ball. I think the social contract, and we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. The social contract just changes between the board, the players, and the team. Their minds are diverted between creating this new stadium, between making sure we stay up, paying good fees to getting the best players, and trying to live with the expectations. It's easy when there's no expectations on the team, and we've had that for 10 years. But this year, I believe there was a massive expectation to go straight up, paying much better wages, which we'll talk about now than any other year. And even in the wages itself, we are the second highest wage bill, where we used to be the second lowest. That social contract, those expectations change everything. I don't think someone who's done a splendid job over 10 years should be crucified for dropping the ball for 1 year. But that's just my personal opinion.
Lewis, anyone who follows you on YouTube will know your views on this, but just summarise where you're at currently with people that want to shout out Gary Sweet.
Well, I just feel like people are being very short-sighted about him, to be honest. Like I know he's made mistakes. I can accept that, but he's got far more credit in the bank than a lot of people do. So he deserves the opportunity, if we do go down to League One, to get us back up to the Championship. He deserves that. He's put in the hard work to get us to the Premier League. I'm not against a director of football coming into the football club, but if you're going to bring someone new in who's going to be in that operation department, then they've got to give us something which we don't have. And the only thing which I don't think we have is someone that can keep us up in the Premier League and become an established Premier League side. So that's, if you're going to bring someone in, you bring someone in for that reason, not to make us back a Championship club or become an established Championship club. People make mistakes, but when you make mistakes at the top level, it impacts everyone. And that's what's happened. And we've made a couple in the last year or so.
Yeah. And people asking them to say sorry, and it's just not going to happen. Is it? Cheers for that, Lewis. Right, let's talk about wages then. That's our next topic of debate this week then. Dan, as Kevin pointed out, when this has been published by Salary Sport this week, and I'm not sure how accurate it is, but were you surprised to see yourselves up there? 30, I mean, obviously, you were going to be one of the highest, but the second highest in the Championship for wages this year?
Yeah, a little bit surprised, although we were in the Premier League last year. So obviously we had to pay a little bit more in wages to certain players. And I think the idea of some of the players coming in last summer was that, when he eventually came in, was that they'd be on a good enough wage to be a top Championship side with the aim of going promotion. And obviously that's gone tits up. But, that's part and parcel, like we were just saying about Gary Sweet. There was a lot of emphasis on the ground and less so on spending on the squad, and I just think needed a little bit more on it. But yeah, I'm surprised we're second highest, certainly. I'd have thought Burnley and Sheffield United would have had more spent on their squad. I'd expected Middlesbrough to probably be a bit higher than us as well, because I think they've really tried to go for it the last few years as well. So
let's have a look at the high wage earners then. I mean, if you look at Mark, if you look down this list, this is again not confirmed by the club, and obviously it's not confirmed by any of the players. Mark, when you look down that list, are you shocked at any on there?
Well, first of all, I have to apologise because of my laptop problems. I'm looking at it on a phone, so especially with my bad eyes.
We'll go to Kevin then, because I don't want you to you have to squint. Kevin, are you surprised at all?
I'm not surprised, but I don't know whether Jacob Brown deserves to be at number one. I also think Baptiste is maybe stealing a living there for the amount he's getting, and Victor Moses. I mean, those are two of the high earners that have hardly had 90 minutes on the field at any point. So it is a bit surprising and maybe even a bit disappointing.
Yeah. Lewis, again, we don't know how accurate these are, but is anything on there shock you?
Well, I don't believe it. I don't. For me, it's wrong anyway. Because I've got inside info, and this is 100% wrong. So I've kind of not believed it when I first saw it come out. This has probably got Premier League wages on it. Not a chance have we given Victor Moses 25 grand this season. I'm being honest with you. There's more chance that Watford have won a trophy than Victor Moses being on 25k. Not an absolute chance is he on that money. So it's not true at all. Look, we're gonna in the the contracts of these players when they got relegated from the Premier League, there would have been deductions anyway. We got promoted with a bottom 5 championship budget. There's not a chance we're going to be in the top 3. We're going to be up there. Don't get me wrong, but we're not that high compared to others. And it's quite funny how I saw this. I just laughed at it because it's not true.
Yeah, and like I said, we have to take it with a massive pinch of salt because we're not even going to get it confirmed by this time next year until we've got all the club's tax returns in and so on. Yeah, it has riled some fan bases, that's for certain. Thank you all for that. We're also this week asking all our clubs to look at League One now and talk about any particular teams that we don't want to come up or we would like to come up. Now, let's assume that Luton is safe. Let's cut that kind of conversation dead there. You've stayed up. Here's the 8 teams, Dan, that we are looking at in terms of returning. We think Birmingham are pretty much there and done, but which one team for you would you like to see as an away day next season in the Championship?
The other Hatters, I suppose, Stockport. Because they were obviously in the conference for a long time and went below that. Or Bolton, maybe. Okay. Yeah, I don't really care about the rest of them.
All right. I'm waiting for the Wickham shouts. Let's see if we get one. Mark?
They don't deserve a mention.
I mean, having just when I walked to Burnley, stopped at Stockport, and what a friendly club and a nice ground. So and we share the same nickname, Stockport, and then obviously the obvious one is Charlton with all the Luton connections. It'd be interesting to see us play Charlton with Nathan Jones coming back. That'd be an interesting one. See the reception he got when he came back. That would be an interesting one.
Kevin?
I would definitely go with Charlton first. I think Nathan Jones was brilliant for Luton Town. He's doing some brilliant work there as well. I've been catching most of their games, playing with the same passion that we used to have, fighting for every ball, fighting for every second ball. He's definitely brought that same passion. I saw last week he was in the stands there after winning in the last minute. I think it'll be great to see them. Obviously, Barry Potts, Danny Hilton, Alan Campbell has played for them this year as well for that link. So they definitely would be my favourites to go up. And then obviously, I know no one else wants to say it, but Wickham, we have had some massive tussles with them, with their time wasting, also playing hard. They're one of those teams that we don't like, but we always struggle hard with them. It's always a dull but interesting game, a hard-fought game.
Okay. Lewis finishes off for us, please.
Yeah, I don't think I could see Nathan Jones, pumping that chest in the Luton Town away end. I just don't want to really see that. Although I love him to bits, but no, I can't see that. So I'm going to have to go with the other Hatters. I'm against some of the other teams like Bolton and Reading, where their stadium's in the middle of nowhere. So I don't really want to go there as an away day. And Wickham, they can stay down for not giving us Richard Kone.
Fair enough.
I'm against a lot of teams, and then Wrexham and Birmingham, hope they stay down as well. Because of the money. Yeah. Firing shots.
Love it. Right. Thank you very much, everyone. Look, a massive good look against Cardiff tomorrow night. All the games are on TV this week, but that's the one I'll be tuning into. By the time you watch this, it'll all be over. By the way, so good luck. We'll see you, of course, next week when we'll review the Middlesbrough game as well, and of course we're looking ahead, of course, to that international break and reviewing who's out of contract and who deserves a new one. That's what we'll be doing on next week's video, so join us for that. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Lewis, as well. Go check out Lewis's videos if you haven't already, and do drop Mark some money if you haven't already for his magnificent work. Well done, Mark. All those steps got in there. True champion.